Hey everyone, this is Stevie here, and today we are going to be designing this. Now, it looks fairly complicated at first, and that's because it kind of is, but what we're going to be doing is taking it step by step to make it seem pretty easy. And this is just kind of like the way you've got to think when you're designing, so it's going to help out a little bit. So first things first, I say we start with the base here. So it looks to me that the width of it is 60, and the depth is 60 plus 60, because this is 68, but it's also jutting over by 8 millimeters into this area here. So let's do 60 by 60, or 60 plus 60 that is, so that's 120. So let's start out by creating a sketch that is 60 millimeters wide by 120 millimeters long. There we go. And then we're going to be extruding this. You'll see that the total height is 28 millimeters. So we'll extrude it by 28. Press enter. And then let's start out by making this cut right here. So it's 10 millimeters away from each side and 14 from the top. So that's pretty simple. We're just going to draw on here. Draw a rectangle in the middle anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And now we're going to dimensionalize it. So you'll press D for the dimensionalize, and then you'll select these two sides, and you know this has to be 10. You'll select this and this, and type out 10 there as well. And then you'll select here to the top, and you'll make that 14. So there we go. That is about half the height. Well, that is half the height actually, it's 28. So we'll cut that out real quick. We'll click on our extrude, and we'll just drag it all the way out, because we know we're not going to make any changes later. So there we go. So far, it looks like we have most of our base. We need to add this though. So let's add this circle right here. It's 24 millimeters from the outside edge, and it has a diameter of 18. So we'll create a sketch here. And we'll create a construction line from this midpoint here, and we'll make that, what did it say, 24 millimeters. And now we can construct our circle with the diameter of 18 millimeters. We'll finish that, and then we will extrude it. Again, just drawing through because it doesn't really matter at this point. So, next thing I say we do is draw this guy. Actually, yeah, we'll draw this guy next. So we know that the middle of it is 60 plus 60 divided by 2. So that's going to be 90 millimeters away from this edge. So what we'll do is construct an offset plane or a construction plane, and then we'll draw on it and then extrude it symmetrically from both sides. So let's do that. We'll create a construction plane here. We will go -90 and press enter. We'll create a sketch here. We will click slice, and then I'm going to click P to project, and I just want to project the geometry there. So there we go. Now we can actually interact with this. So now what we're doing is 60 millimeters from this point here. We have the center of these two circles, and they are 32 millimeters and 60 millimeters in diameter. So we'll draw a construction line from the midpoint right here up 60 millimeters, and then we are going to draw a 32 millimeter, I believe it was. Yep, 32 and 60. So we will go 32, and then we will draw one more at 60. Perfect. Now we have a rectangle that connects, and it looks like it terminates right at that midpoint of these circles. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle, go up through here, and make sure that it sticks to that point, and there we go. I'm going to finish that sketch. And we know that this rectangle gets extruded by 68 minus 16. So that's 52. So we will divide 52 by 2, and we'll just say symmetric, and just write 52 divided by 2. Okay, well I wrote 522. 52 divided by 2. And there we go. Now we are going to go back to our sketches and turn that sketch on one more time, because we still need to extrude this part of it. So we know that this is 68 divided by 2, or 34. But we need to make that symmetric, and there we go. Press OK there, and we can turn off that sketch now. So this is starting to look like it. So next thing that we have to do is draw this side right here. We know that it is 12 millimeters tall, so it's right in line with this top because 12 plus 16 is 28. So let's start by making it we'll make it right at the middle of this right here. So we'll go over here, create a sketch, and I'm going to create a construction line from this point to this point. And I'm going to draw our rectangle right in here on it. Doesn't really matter. Because now what's going to happen is we know that it's 32 millimeters wide because this diameter is 32, which means one line from here to here is 32. So let's dimensionalize that first. So we'll write 32. And then we need to know that it is 12 millimeters tall. So we'll write 12. And then I'm going to make it so that, actually we'll delete this real quick because we don't really need that. What we need is to do this and to draw that. So we have two construction lines there, right? The purpose of these is so that we can center this. Now the way we do that is we click on our equal constraint and we click on both of these. Now once they are equal, that forces this to be right in the middle of this section right here. It can't be any other way. So now that we have that fully constrained, we'll finish our sketch and we need to extrude it. Now when you look at it, we need to extrude it 50 millimeters up until this center point here. So we will do that real quick. We'll extrude 50 millimeters. And then we're going to create another sketch on top of this because we know that we need a hole and a circle that is 24 millimeters tall total. And those diameters are 16 and 32. So we'll create a sketch and we'll choose this to be 16, and then our second circle here is going to be 32. And I accidentally turned on construction line. To turn that off, you just click on it and press X. Now we can finish our sketch and we can extrude it once more. So first thing that I'm going to do is actually cut this out real quick. We don't need that. And then I'm going to turn that sketch back on and I'm going to extrude the outer portions. Again, we're going to use symmetry because if you look at it, it's 24 millimeters and we know that this base is 12, so it's going to make it nice and simple to just say that we're going to extrude it 12 millimeters on both sides symmetrically. So we will type out 12. If it works, there we go. It's going to want to cut it, so what we're going to do is choose join. And then we'll press OK. Now we can turn off that sketch, and we are pretty close. There's only one thing that's missing, and it's this right here. So what we're going to be doing is actually using that same construction plane before, because this should now be symmetric about that construction plane as well. Since this was drawn right in the middle of this, which the construction plane was right in the middle of this also, when we draw on that construction line, or construction plane, my bad, it will be symmetric in the middle of this guy and in the middle of this guy. So we will create a new sketch, but you'll see that we can't find our construction plane. So what we'll have to do is go over here to our construction plane tab, and we are going to turn on that plane. Now when we create a sketch, we can actually select that plane. To make this a bit easier to tell where we're going, we are going to click on this slice. Now what we're seeing here is the cutout of where we're actually drawing. So what we need to do is project some geometry. We have to project this circle here, and we should also project this and this just to be safe. We'll actually select this too. Project everything basically. And this. Beautiful. Wow, I just selected literally everything. So now what we're going to do is, to me, it looks like it goes from the midpoint of this down to the corner of that. So we'll try that out. So we'll select a line going from the midpoint, because that is the midpoint here, and down to this corner, and there we go. It already made us a triangle. Now we just finish our sketch, and we see that it has to be extruded by 8 millimeters, so we can do symmetric by 4 millimeters, right? We'll select this, symmetric, 4, and press enter. And there we go. Let's take a look at that in comparison to what we were trying to design. To me, that looks identical. I mean, you think it looks a little bit off here, but I think that's fine. So that is how we can actually take like a somewhat complex looking drawing like this and break it down. It's nothing more than just doing a bunch of little steps. All you have to do is understand where to start. Once you've started, it makes it so much easier. Especially when you're thinking that, alright, this guy is symmetric with this guy, so which one do I want to start out with? Because either way, as long as they are symmetric with each other, it will be fine. But I think that doing it this way would be easier, by drawing this first and then drawing this reference by it. So, thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and we'll see you in the next video.